And that's why their record in the division has been very strong. All right, from a Phillies standpoint, bright spots out of the bullpen. Luis Garcia has been a big bright spot. Now, the Phillies as a staff have really struggled with their command. Garcia, though, he has been able to power through. You take a look at the struggles on the staff so far this year. The earned run average 4.35. Now, what's not on here are the walks, but they also have to get, Matt, the starters to get more wins and go deeper into the game.
Well, they really do. And cut the limit of pitches you throw in the game. They're walking a lot of guys, like you said, Tom, and it's really putting a lot of pressure on the bullpen to come in and pitch a lot of innings. Bullpen ERA is getting a little better. They're starting to throw strikes. The bright spot in the bullpen is Luis Garcia. He's a guy that last year struggled in the big leagues. Never really got a good opportunity. Came into spring training, great shape. His slider was unbelievable. Good changeup, electric fastball. Pitching with a lot of confidence. And, of course, Elvis Arroyo. He came in last night, Major League debut. Started off a little bit with the slider. It looked like he was kind of guiding a little bit. The big strikeout last night was Shelby Miller. When he struck him out, second, third, 2 outs. Then all of a sudden, Markakis comes up. That was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and that's the pitch we saw in spring training. That's the pitch we fell in love with. There was some very good curveballs. You could tell the more he threw, the more comfortable he got. And the important thing, too, for the Phillies, they have a second left-hander coming out of the bullpen, so it means Ryan Sandberg could probably use Jake Diekman a little differently. All right, tonight is the finale of this 3-game series. Jerome Williams on the mound for the Phillies, making his 6th start of the season, and Mike Foltynewicz will make the start for the Atlanta Braves, a guy the Phillies saw in spring training, even if it was only 2 2/3. Well, Freddie Freeman has been red hot, as we said, coming into this series. It's continued. Kelly Johnson, same holds true. When we return, we'll go to the Comcast Sportsnet studios. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Citizens Bank. One deposit checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. By Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. By Toyota. The Toyota Time Sales Event ends June 1st. Hurry in today. Toyota, let's go places. By Budweiser, still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com.
Game series between the Phillies and the Atlanta Braves. They're honoring the Vietnam veterans from the Atlanta area here tonight. A very moving ceremony that took place prior to the start of this ball game, and now we get set for baseball. The Braves have taken the field. There are some of the Vietnam vets who are in attendance here tonight. They were ringing the infield with all the Vietnam vets who are from the Atlanta area. Here they come, coming in from center field. There was a beautiful bagpipe presentation where they had some of the POWs from the Atlanta area, from the state of Georgia, that were circulating up on the board. Still to this day, but a very nice touch by the Atlanta Braves organization honoring the Vietnam veterans here tonight. Well, the Braves, as we said, have taken the field. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Ben Revere leads it off in right field for a second straight night. Freddie Galvis bats second. Cody Ashley hits third, followed by Ryan Howard and Darren Rupp. Odubel Herrera is in center field. He'll hit sixth. In the bottom third, Cesar Hernandez, Cameron Rupp, and Jerome Williams. And they will face right-hander Mike Foltynewicz, who's making his second career appearance against the Phillies. This is his second start here in the big leagues. Matt, he did make some starts down in the minors. Those are the numbers from his initial start. He's got a powerful fastball. The Phillies, though, saw him in spring training and think they're pretty comfortable against him.
Well, he does have a very good live arm, but he has a problem repeating his delivery. As you can see, the Budweiser scouting report, 93, 95, 98 mile-an-hour fastball, curve change slider. In 2010, he was the Astros' first-round draft pick, so he's a guy that has a powerful arm, but he's up in the zone a lot. And I like how we said, well, I have that upper 90, 98, 99 mile-an-hour fastball if I want it in the back pocket, but he's learned how to pitch instead of just throw.
Some people even think that down the road he could be a closer because of that 98 mile-an-hour fastball. But right now he's in the Braves rotation. He's getting set to face Ben Revere. And it's time now for our Nissan keys to tonight's ball game.
Well, key number one for me tonight, and the most important one, is Herrera to cut back on his swing a little bit. I found the last couple of games he's been over swinging. And number two is get the motors running, because he does not hold runners on very well.
It'd be great to see the speed that the Phillies do have. Revere, Odubel Herrera, Cesar Hernandez, if they can pressure the Braves tonight on the base paths. Well, here we go. Ben Revere, 11 for 36 on the road trip so far. First pitch of the night is in there for strikes or underway. Revere is 0 for his last 7, but you see his numbers on the road trip, 366. And he hits that one towards shortstop. Simmons is up with it, and he guides the throw over to first, and one away. Such a gifted shortstop, but he really does not show off that arm unless he absolutely needs to, which I think sometimes gets him into a little bit of trouble.
We've seen that the last couple of nights. Kind of takes his time, then all of a sudden he fires across, about 104 across, and just gets guys just in time at first.
Freddie Galvis is now the batter. Galvis, a 333 hitter with a home run and 8 runs batted in. First pitch is over. It's 0-1. Galvis 9th in the league in hitting with that 333 average. And he pulls it fouled on the right field line. It's 0-2. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Dale Bond of Hamburg, Pennsylvania. Phillies hit a home run in tonight's ball game. All right, Matt, here we go. $500 to Dale. Time to give out some money. Umpires tonight, Dan Bellino is behind the plate. Bruce Dreckman's over at first, Tom Hallion at second, and Alfonso Marquez is around at third. Swing and a miss. Well, he was gauging the fastball, and he got a breaking ball, and he couldn't stop his swing, so 2 outs here in the first.
That's the advantage for a right-handed pitcher. When you have a very good fastball and also a very good slider, you gear up so much for a fastball. The next thing you know, he's throwing a curveball, and it's like a 9-1-1 swing. You got to kind of panic a little bit, and hopefully foul it off.
Phillies faced Foltynewicz in spring training. They had 2 home runs against him in 2 2/3 innings of work. He also walked a couple batters. 1 ball, no strikes to Cody Ashley, who's 0 for his last 12. And he takes inside. It's 2-0.
I believe I'm going to call him tonight Folty.
I think you've been okay with it. Have you said Foltynewicz yet?
No.
Say it with me. Foltynewicz.
Mike.
2 balls and no strikes. Down the left field line, out of play. Murph, can you say it with me? Foltynewicz.
Mike.
Come on.
Foltynewicz, how's that?
Boy, see if you can ask somebody in the dugout if they can say it along with Matt. Another foul ball down the left field line.
It's not saying it that's the problem, it's spelling it. That's what I was having trouble
with. That is
with.
true. Beautiful day here in Atlanta. Temperatures were in the 80s. Right now 79 degrees. 3 miles per hour out of the east is what the wind is. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cody Ashe. Up high, 3-2. We are going home to great weather as the Phils prepare for a 3-game series against the New York Mets beginning Friday night. And a swing and a miss at a high fastball, 95. So back-to-back strikeouts for Foltynewicz. So he gets through the first even with a little wildness. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Jerome Williams is ready to go. Take a look at the Braves lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Nick Markakis leads it off in right field, then Simmons and Freeman. Kelly Johnson gets another start. This time it's in left field batting cleanup. Alberto Callaspo's back over at third base batting fifth. Christian Bethancourt will bat sixth. In the bottom third of Peterson, Maven, and Foltynewicz, and they will face Phillies right-hander Jerome Williams. Last time out, 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 7 hits. He had to work hard to get through those 5 innings. Overall, he's allowed 45 base runners, Matt, so that's the combined number, hits and walks, that probably needs to come down for Jerome.
Oh, and it is. And what I've liked the last couple of starts is that he's used his changeup more. And you can see the Budweiser scouting report. Average fastball, 91.4 miles an hour. Cutter curve change, 2-3 with a 5.09 ERA versus the Atlanta Braves.
So he'll face Nick Markakis to start things off. First pitch is just a bit outside. It's 1-0. Markakis 3 for 10 so far in this series. Very similar pitch, this time called a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Markakis. Overall 293, no homers, 6 RBIs. And he fouls that one. Pretty good breaking pitch right there by Jerome Williams. Is that a cutter, Matt?
Yep.
I think it had a little more depth on it. Comes back with a fastball, and it's 2-2. Markakis does have 6 hits and 16 at bats lifetime against Jerome. Hitting .375 against him. Just a couple RBIs. Out toward left field. Darren Ruff will venture back into the sunshine, and he puts it away for the first out. And that'll bring Simmons to the plate, who was 3 for 7 in this series without a strikeout. And it's time to take a look at our T-Mobile game changer. He and Cesar Hernandez are the leaders right now, the active leaders in plate appearances without a strikeout.
We have Cesar Hernandez in the top 1 or 2 in every category we're showing nowadays. Pitches per at bat.
Remember, he's not going to be in that category anymore.
No longer. No mas.
Simmons takes inside 1-0. All right, so our thinking is not that these two guys are patient. It's just that they swing early in counts. Well, there you go. That one's hit well out to left center field. Herrera's going back to the wall, and it is gone. Second home run of the year for Simmons against the Phillies. Second one overall. 1-0 Atlanta here in the bottom of the first. He's just wasting no time whatsoever.
No, he doesn't. And he's a very aggressive hitter, but it's a fastball up in the zone. You can see where Cameron set up low and away. Tails back right down the middle of the plate. And young man has some pretty good power and drives it over the Xfinity sign.
Freddie Freeman is now the hitter. Freeman does have a home run in this series. A 2-run shot last night. He has 3 RBIs overall. 2 balls and no strikes to him. Simmons hit a home run against the Phillies at Citizens Bank Park in the last series. Darren Ruff's going to be busy here in the first inning. This one should stay in the ballpark. Yep, it will, in fair territory. What I meant by that is I thought it was going to have a chance to slice into foul territory. And there are 2 outs. During the 2015 season, Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the Phillies, will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory. 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Here's Kelly Johnson. And he takes low. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Kelly Johnson's the one hitter that I would be careful with tonight. He's been swinging the bat extremely well. He's already got 6 home runs on the year compared to 7 last year. Feeling very comfortable. Got his 1,000th knock last night.
Yeah, the newest member of the 1,000 hit club, a category or a club that you belong to as well. On the outside corner, 2-2.
Yep, 1,000 strikeouts too.
Oh yeah, you do have 1,000 strikeouts. Well, that happens. One hopper over to Ryan Howard, and that should do it for the first inning. However, the Braves do take the lead on a solo home run by Andrelton Simmons. We'll head to the second. Atlanta's up 1-0. Go to Phillies.com for more information and to bid on some items like a private hitting clinic with Chase Utley or take Cody Ashley to your school. You can also have lunch with Hall of Famer Ryan Sandberg in his office. And how about having Dan Baker announce your next fantasy draft? Auction ends May 13th and 14th. Check it out now by going to Phillies.com. Ryan Howard leads it off. Howard hitting 195 with 4 homers and 12 runs batted in. That one's off the hands, out toward left center, and Simmons won't get to it. And Howard has the second hit of the series. They all count, Matt.
Yes, they do.
And for Ryan Howard, all the times he hit into the shift on the right side, he's owed some of that. Darren Ruff is now the batter, getting another chance to start. His 13th overall. He's 6 for 17 on the road trip.
These two have had great conversations in all the games this year. Freddie Freeman and Ryan Howard. Take him out to dinner.
Sometimes I wonder how first basemen, when they are so close, even when they're not holding the runner on, I mean, how does this do Freddie Freeman any good? Being right in Ryan Howard's back pocket. That ball's drilled foul. It's deep.
Well, he stays close to keep him close so he doesn't try to steal second base. But he stays there close enough so they can still have a conversation.
He can take seeds out of his back pocket if he wants to. Another foul ball. This one off Bethancourt, and it's 1-2.
It's like they just saw each other 24 hours ago.
Yeah. It's as if they're just taking a stroll around the park.
I like it.
Another foul ball, and it remains 1-2. Ruff is 6 for 17 on this road trip. This is the most extensive playing time he's received so far this year. Swing and a miss. He got him with a curve. Well, he was on his fastball. 3 strikeouts for Fulton Evans. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks very much, Tom. Well, as we know, life on the road for the Phils of late has not been all that kind. 4-12 on the road so far this season. However, a win tonight against Atlanta would be their first road series win in quite some time in their last 9 tries. Take a look at the numbers on this particular road trip. The 10-gamer, 3-6 is their record, 243 batting average, just scoring about 3 runs per game. And you go down to the starters' ERA, 7.09. That is not going to get the job done. And 62 strikeouts as well on this road trip. So these are the kinds of things that Ryan Sandberg has been kind of preaching to his guys that they need to get better at, the walks and the strikeouts, and really just team offense as a whole is something that hasn't come around quite yet. They're hoping it will, but it's been a tough go on the road so far, guys.
Well, Dubal Herrera is really in his first kind of slump of the season as the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. You know, folks talk about the lineup for the Phillies, and in reality, this offense has been stagnant from the start. So Ryan Sandberg's tried a million different things. And, you know, Murph, everything he's tried, it's still the same numbers. So people wonder, why is this guy batting here? Why is that guy batting here? There isn't a combination that's working just yet.
No, he hasn't found it yet. And, you know, we get a chance to talk to Ryan every day about that and about other things. And you can sense the frustration. You know, he is trying to pull all kinds of different levers and pushing all kinds of buttons to try and get this thing kick-started. But, you know, he's hasn't been able to find a combination that works yet. Guys have been, you know, a couple guys have been hot, but we haven't had enough guys that have been hot for a long period of time that, you know, really going to make the offense get to where it needs to be. So, you know, all they can do is keep on trying, and I know that's what Ryan Sandberg is doing. So
there's Chase Utley, who has today off, so he'll have 3 straight days off. Jeff Francoeur, who is primarily playing now against left-handers, had a good day in game 1 of this series. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Herrera. And Herrera slaps it down the third base line, off the bag, off the glove of Callaspo, and the Phils will have runners on first and second with 1 man down. Well, that will be a hit for Herrera. It's his first hit of the series.
And that'll be a well-needed hit right there.
I was going to say.
See what happens when you shorten up your swing?
He basically just slapped at the ball.
Well, it's a two-strike approach. You know, he's just over-swinging. That's perfect. That's smart hitting right there. You got the bloop over the shortstop's head. You got the bloop off the bag. Now you need the blast, and you're back in the game, a 3-1 lead.
Well, here is Cesar Hernandez. Takes on the outside corner. It's 1-0. Cesar 2 for 4 with 4 walks in this series. Chopper up the first base line, and it hit him, so that's why it's foul ball, and that is the reason he didn't run.
Well, and I will tell you this with Murph's comments about changing the lineup around and trying to find that happy-go-lucky lineup. What it does is it keeps the bench on their toes, knowing that, hey, tomorrow I could be in there. A lot of times you know your role back in the days when these guys were winning almost every other day. You knew you were going to sit for 5 days, 6 days, and then finally get a start on Sunday. But now these guys, they know their jobs. He's looking for an opportunity. And as a bench guy, you go out there, and the biggest thing is try not to do too much. Which, I mean, if you're a home run hitter, so be it. But if you're a gap hitter,
be a gap hitter.
Be a gap hitter. Don't try to hit home runs. If you're a guy who takes pitches, take pitches. Stay within yourself. Don't change anything.
No balls at 2 strikes to Hernandez. Swing and a miss. The same pitch that he got Ruff with and Galvis with, he gets Cesar Hernandez with. That's 4 strikeouts.
And his streak is over.
And his streak is over. Well, no streak will ever last, except for Joe DiMaggio's.
Really. Cal Ripken.
Or Cal Ripken.
Pete Rose.
Yeah, I guess, or Pete Rose. All right, so those 3, but no other streak will run on to eternity. 1 ball and no strikes to Cameron Rupp, making his 9th start. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Bryce Harper 3 home runs, 5 RBIs today, and the Nationals held on and defeated the Marlins 7-5. Giancarlo Stanton hit a home run to make it 7-5. 1 ball, 1 strike to Rupp. Outside 2-1. Matt Williams also said before the ball game that Steven Strasburg, we mentioned last night that he was lifted early in the game against the Marlins, has soreness under his shoulder blade. Outside 3-1. Another score from today, game 1 of a doubleheader. Diamondbacks defeated the Rockies 13-7. Aaron Hill 4 hits, including a home run. Game 2 is in the top of the 2nd inning, and that one is scoreless. Outside ball 4. That'll load up the bases. But Jerome Williams is coming up.
That's the fastball that we were talking about earlier in the game. When he leans back and throws 97, 98 miles an hour, has a hard time to repeat his delivery because it's such a violent delivery. When he's 94, 95, 93, the ball sinks very well. But when all of a sudden he wants to get it up there, he misses to the left and usually, off the plate to right-handers.
All right, now if you're Jerome, though, you're taking here. You're taking at least a strike, right?
I would.
All right, well, he's not. And he pops it up on the infield. Chase Peterson is under it, and the inning is over. Phillies leave him loaded here in the 2nd. No runs, 2 hits, and 3 men left. So the bottom of the 2nd, it's the Braves 1, the Phillies nothing. Barrett Brooks and Sarah Baker on Breakfast on Broad, presented by Virtua Joint Replacement Institute. Weekday mornings from 6 until 8 over on the Comcast Network and streaming live on breakfastonbroad.com. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Braves on top of the Phils. Jerome Williams will face Alberto Callaspo, Christian Bethancourt, and Jace Peterson for the Atlanta Braves. There's Chad Billingsley, who started last night and went 5 innings. I was chatting with Larry Bowe today about Billingsley, and we were talking about the pitch count. He threw 66 pitches, and they acknowledged that he threw 99 in his minor league start, but they wanted him to go about 80 pitches last night, so that's why he left after 5. They felt like he probably had enough at that point.
So I guess there was restrictions on.
There were restrictions, yeah. Even though there weren't, there were, yeah. But I think everybody was optimistic, even though he gave up some runs, that his fastball had life on it, that the cutter was probably a pitch that he has to keep working on, and the location of it. But I think everybody feels pretty good going into his next start, which will be Sunday afternoon. 1-1 to Callaspo. Change up hits a left. Looks like it's Darren Ruff's night. That's 3 putouts and 1 away. Christian Bethancourt to the plate. He hasn't played in the first 2 games of this series. Braves' top catching prospect.
You'd think it'd be frustrating for Bethancourt because he came in thinking he was going to be the starting catcher. Sign a veteran A.J. Przinsky, and next thing you know, you're getting a splinter.
They still think, though, at some point he will retake over the catching job. Now they're just kind of easing him into it. And Przinsky even said, I didn't come here to be the starter. But he acknowledged that he is hitting the ball well. 0-2 pitch to Bethancourt, and a swing and a miss. First strikeout for Williams. Phillies fans, next time you're looking for great seats, get to StubHub, where there are no surprise fees at checkout. That's right. On StubHub, the price you see is the price you pay. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Phillies.com. Fly ball to left field. Ben Revere angles under it. And the side is retired. An easy second for Jerome Williams. Just a 7-pitch inning. Pretty nice bounce back from the first. And we will now head to the third. Top of the order, due up. Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, Matt, here's the question. On April 8, 1974, Atlanta Brave Hank Aaron hit his 715th home run off what Dodger pitcher? Answer will be revealed a little later on. I will say to you, Matt, that he is a native of the same state that I am a native of. That's my only hint that I'm going to give you.
I already got it, Tom.
Ben Revere leads it off, and he takes low. 1 ball, no strikes. Revere grounded out to short his first time up. That one's out towards center field. Pretty well hit. Maben on the run. Out toward the warning track. It's over his head off the base of the wall. And Revere will pull into second with his 3rd double of the year. Well, that ball carried a pretty good ways.
Well, it carried quite a ways, and the pitch is up in the zone. Nice short swing. He barreled that. That was about 394 feet to right center. Nice to see, though, him getting some doubles and driving the ball in the gaps. We heard Ben talk earlier 3 or 4 days ago talking about he's happy with the triples. And he's starting to feel better about his gap power.
Freddie Galvis. Thought maybe he'd be up there to bunt. But he is the Phillies average-wise best hitter at .330. Average has dropped 3 points from the start of the game. Way outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
I'm going to say it looks like Freddie Galvis is thinking a little too much right now. He gets in the batter's box, he's hitting the ball to left field, right field, and now he'll take a swing and he walks out and he kicks his bat a little bit and he's thinking a little bit.
That one's pulled to right field, a base hit. Revere held for a moment, but he's heading home. Now he's being held. It's bobbled by Markakis. I'm shocked that he didn't score on that. He did freeze it for a moment, but that ball was still to the left of Markakis, but Pete McCannon did put the stop sign up. So 1st and 3rd with nobody out.
Well, Ben's thinking about scoring right here. Pete holds him up, and then he realizes that Nick Markakis bobbles the ball. But nice job of hitting the ball to right field on the line. You can see Pete's holding him up now. He's trying to bring him in last second, which is just a little too late to pick him up.
Well, still nobody out. Runners on 1st and 3rd, and Cody Ashe swings and fouls the first pitch off. It's 0-1. Sun is glaring in the eyes of Freddie Freeman. They will not have that issue in the new ballpark. It is a problem at first base at this time of the night because it comes right through the crevice in left field. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Outside, 1-2. Outside, 3-2.
an interesting pitch right there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, throwing a changeup. When you throw the first 2 fastballs by a hitter.
I think the last couple pitches have been kind of interesting for him. Swing and a miss. Got him with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It's the 5th strikeout for Ashe. And then I'll bring Ryan Howard to the plate.
I mean, this is just a good location fastball. 95, late movement. Very tough. As a left-handed hitter, what you try to do is you try to foul that off. Waste a good pitch and wait for a mistake pitch.
Howard singled his first time up, a jam shot. That one's popped up down the left field line. Revere is tagging. This is going to be a no man's land. Coming over is Kelly Johnson. He can't get it. It's a foul ball. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Ryan Howard.
Well, Kelly Johnson had to run about a 1/4 mile. Right here, you can tell he didn't get there quick enough because he was kind of coasting. That's usually the shortstop's ball, but Simmons is playing way up the middle.
Inside, 2-1.
Usually your shortstop's playing over on this side here, so this is the no man land over in the corner where the ball dropped.
Howard grounds it toward first, a foul ball. It's even now, 2-2. So he's trying to get that run home from third with less than 2 outs. Revere started the inning with a double, went to third on a single to right by Freddie Galvis. Two balls, 2 strikes. Challenged him with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball there. Phillies faced Fulton Evich last year when he was with the Astros. He came in relief. Howard was 1 for 1. Ashe was 0 for 1. Revere was 1 for 1. I mentioned the Braves got him in the Evan Gattis deal when Gattis went to the Astros this past offseason. That one's pulled toward first, flagged down by Freeman, and now they've got Galvis caught. Revere's already crossed the plate, but that's not going to matter. Fultonevich now involved in the rundown. They throw it to Callaspo, who tags him out. The side is retired. Excuse me. The run does matter. Revere does cross the plate to tie the ball game up. The double play ends the inning, but the Phils still get the run home. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd here in Atlanta. provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Buy Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers and our most exciting lineup ever. Shop Nissan.com. And buy Papa John's. The day after every Phillies win, get 50% off your regular menu price online order using promo code Phillies at papajohns.com. Well, the Phillies just had some excellent base running by Freddie Galvis to help them get a run to tie the game up, and that wrapped up the third inning. Cameron Maybin takes down low. It's 1-0. Now, if Freddie Freeman would have turned and thrown to second first and then back to first, Phillies wouldn't have gotten that run.
Right, and that's the nice thing about it. The ball was hit close enough to first base, but Freddie Freeman touched it. Planned on throwing to second base, but Freddie Galvis stopped and got the run down.
Chopper to shortstop, and Galvis throws out Maybin and one away. By the way, the scoring for that double play, 3-6-1-5. 3-6-1-5. Third baseman Callaspo came over to apply the tag to get Freddie Galvis. First pitch is popped up foul and out of play. And it's 0-1. Tapper off the plate, 0-2. And strikeout number 2 for Jerome Williams. Yeah, there are 2 outs. Here's that play that ended the last inning.
Yeah, and Ben Revere's going on contact. The ball just takes him over, and right there Freddie kind of slips, but it didn't matter because his intentions was to try to get Freddie going into second base, but he does a nice job of staying in the rundown. It didn't matter how long he stayed in the rundown as long as Ben Revere crossed before he got tagged out.
Well, and we mentioned that Freeman, if he would have gone to second first and then come back to first, the only reason we say that is because Ryan Howard was running, so
right.
They had time if they wanted to do it that way, and the run wouldn't have counted. Marquez takes a strike. It's 1-1. There's Carlos Tosca, who's the bench coach for Freddie Gonzalez, and he handles the infielders, so he's chatting with him right now. I would assume about that.
Well, there's 2 different ways he could have done it. I mean, he could have done the traditional 3-6-3 double play, or he could have tagged first base and came home and tried to get Ben Revere at home plate. But things happen. Things happen so quick in the game. You hit a ball to your left, and what's the last thing? You're not going to think, okay, don't touch this base. You're going to throw to second base first, and then get the ball back. I mean, it's just a reaction.
Yeah. 2-2 pitch to Marquez inside, 3-2. A liner out to center field. It's right at Odubel Herrera, who makes the leaping catch, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. A pretty easy third for Jerome Williams. On to the 4th inning in a 1-1 game. Is WB Mason, providing amazingly low prices on kitchen disposables, consumables, small wares, and so much more. From your new restaurant partner, who but WB Mason. Jerome Williams has had back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. Darren Ruff leads it off. He gets a curve, and it's 0-1. Ruff is struck out, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Fly ball right field. It's not deep. Markakis comes sprinting in. He got a really good jump. And there's 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Well, this Sunday is StubHub Mother's Appreciation Day at Citizens Bank Park. A free Phillies wristlet for women 15 and older. Game time is 1:35. It wraps up that 3-game series against the Mets. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. In fact, there are tickets available for all 3 games of that series. It's going to be a beautiful weekend in Philadelphia, as everybody knows. And how about the pitching matchup for Friday night? Matt Harvey, unbeaten, against Cole Hamels. As Herrera bunts foul, it's 0-1. So again, you can go to Phillies.com, purchase tickets for Mother's Appreciation Day, or all 3 games between the Phils and the Mets. Freddie Gonzalez is going to come out, and we know what it's going to be. He's going to tell Dan Bellino that Herrera bunted while out of the batter's box, which has been a point of contention for a lot of managers so far this year. They've brought it up in between innings. It's nothing that can be reviewed.
Right.
But now Dan Bellino will keep an eye on it, and he is close. We pointed that out before.
He is. I mean, as long as you keep 1 foot in the batter's box, and his foot right there in the batter's box.
Rafael Furcal, who played here in Atlanta, he had a lifetime of hits doing just that, running out of the box.
I would have done it again.
That would have been funny if he did it again. No balls, 2 strikes to Herrera. And he pulls it foul. Odubel just wasn't ready for that pitch. Granted time by Dan Bellino. Had a curveball upstairs, 3-2. It's the 4th 3-ball 2-strike count. That was the pitch for Herrera right there. It was down and in. We talked about that a lot in last night's ball game with Billingsley on the mound and lefties up for the Braves. Billingsley gave up that home run to Freeman, a home run to Johnson. Both those pitches were down in the left-hander's nitro zone. Fouls another one off. So we're going to see 10 pitches at least for Herrera.
I'd like to see Herrera get his first major league home run. Fill the columns. You can relax a little bit. Double, triple home run, single, stolen base, strikeout, and a walk. Let's fill in the columns.
Also would give the Phils the lead, which would be a good thing too.
Yes, it would.
That's pitch number 10 that he fouls off. See if he just challenges him here with a fastball. Nope, he throws that curveball. It is a wicked pitch. Strikeout number 6.
Well, Herrera was sitting dead red heater, and he gets that hard slider. Pretty much anticipating a fastball down the middle and recognizing the pitch before swinging.
Here's Cesar Hernandez. He got one of those pitches his last time up. And he takes at the knees a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Well, he's just challenging him right now.
Late fastball. It's 94 miles an hour down at the bottom of the zone. Late movement.
Now the 0-2 pitch to Hernandez. Checked his swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Well, it's our fault for putting him on that list of consecutive plate appearances without a strikeout. He has struck out twice tonight. 7 strikeouts for Foltynewicz. We played 3.5. The game is tied at 1. .com. By Budweiser, still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. And by W.B. Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. Bottom of the 4th inning, Phillies and the Braves tied at 1. And Drelton Simmons, who will lead it off, he gave the Braves their only run with a solo home run his first time up. Jerome Williams has retired 8 in a row since that home run, so he's retired 9 of 10. Curveball, and it misses in. 1 ball, no strikes. I think that may have fooled the home plate umpire.
Pretty good location for 2 balls, no strike, fastball low and away.
Another good pitch, 2-2.
Very nice cutter right there.
Now the 2-2 pitch to Simmons. In the air to left center field again. Herrera's on the run. This one will stay in the yard. It's a 1-hop off the wall. And Simmons glides to second with his 8th double of the year. He's 2 for 2. Herrera, this is kind of a learning play right here, because the other night he ran right past the ball and it caromed off the wall, went past him again onto the grass. This time he backs up. He's played it right.
Yeah, he did, and actually going to your left like that, knowing that Darren Ruff or Ben Rivera in right field is going to back you up, but knowing that he didn't have an opportunity to catch that ball, play it off the carom, and get the ball in quicker.
Well, now Freddie Freeman, he fly to left his first time up, 0 for 1. Freeman now 4 for 9 in the series. Time now for a cold hard fact brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. It has to do with Freddie Freeman and the Atlanta Braves with runners in scoring position. They're hitting .316. That's scalding hot. Tied with or just 3 percentage points ahead of the San Diego Padres, who are second. That's a big deal for any team. But last year Atlanta was in the 230s with runners in scoring position. That's something they wanted to improve on.
Well, even being in 5th place at 271 is outstanding.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Having that high of a batting average with runners in scoring position tells me that they're very patient, taking walks, and waiting for your pitch.
Well, you see Freeman is 4 for his last 5 with runners in scoring position. And they threw him something soft, and it's 3-2.
Nice changeup.
Kelly Johnson on deck. That one's looped down the left field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. It is a fair ball. Simmons will score, and Freddie Freeman will pull into second with an RBI double. 2 totally different personalities, but back-to-back doubles. And the Braves have retaken the lead here in the 4th.
I mean, makes a very nice cutter, jams him. There's not much you can do. I mean, he stays in the zone quite a while. Pitches up in the zone, and it just hits another area where nobody can get to. He's been swinging the bat well. When things are going well, you get those knocks.
Kelly Johnson grounded out his first time up. Still nobody out here in the 4th. Kelly Johnson takes outside. It's 1-0. That RBI for Freeman gives him 15. It ties him with Simmons for the 2nd most RBIs on the Braves. This guy has the most. And Kelly Johnson, he's been a reclamation project for the team that drafted him. On his recent power surge, our Geico quote of the day, you've just got to keep going and keep your approach. That's my goal. If the ball goes into the seats or it's a swinging bunt, I don't care. I just want to stay consistent with what I'm doing, and hopefully good results will follow. He's been, so far, the first month of the year, a very good pickup by the Braves. Sandberg, Larry Bowa hoping that Williams can pitch his way back into command. Great command in the second and third. This is Kelly Johnson's home run last night. It was hit number 999.
Yeah, and this is a fastball down, and really Chad Billingsley wanted the fastball away, but he left it down that nitro zone, and hit that pretty good.
He didn't miss it. There's no question about that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Outside, 3-2. Alberto Callaspo's on deck. This is 3 full counts now for Jerome. Chopper to first. It's foul ball.
This is what we were talking a few minutes ago about runners in scoring position having quality at bats. Freddie Freeman, Kelly Johnson. That's 11 pitches they've seen with the runners with the man on second base.
He's got to try to find a pitch that can get him out here because he's getting a piece of everything he's throwing.
Kelly's job is to hit a ground ball to the right side or a deep fly ball to right to advance Freddie Freeman to third base.
And a call. Strike 3. A 2-seamer. Boy, did he give up on that. Third strikeout for Jerome.
Well, this is a pitch that Williams hasn't thrown all night. Perfect timing. After fouling off and seeing 11 pitches, the front door sinker. You give up on it early and it comes back for a strike.
It's just such a good pitch to left-handed hitters. It could even be a good pitch against right-handers.
Well, it depends on who you talk to.
Here's Callaspo. He flied to left his only time up. Off-speed pitch, 0-1. Little floater out towards shallow left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Freeman to third. They'll hold him there. And Herrera gets the throw in. So first and third now with 1 out. And not much you can do about that if you're Jerome Williams. Phillies will set up to turn 2 here. They play the infield back with Bethancourt coming up.
Be careful here too. Bethancourt has been swinging the bat real well as of late, so you're always going to be on your toes for a squeeze or early in the count.
Is that why Bob McClure's coming out to talk to Jerome Williams?
It might be. I mean, it's not because he's not throwing strikes, because he is. I'm not sure how the rule of thumb is anymore, but they used to say if a squeeze. This is how they wanted to do back in the day. If it was going to be a squeeze situation and you hear squeeze, you throw the ball right at the hitter's head.
They don't do that anymore, Matt.
Well, and I'm glad they don't.
You can certainly throw it up a little bit, though. All right, so the meeting is over. Runners on first and third with 1 man down. Bethancourt struck out his first time up. Chopper back toward the middle. This could be two. Galvis has it. Bobbles, steps on second, throws to first in time. It's a 6-3 double play. Well, fortunately, it was a catcher that was running. 1 run, though, on 3 hits, and 1 man left. Freddie Galvis keeping calm and then making the play to get the Phils out of the 4th. Matt, here we go. On April 8th, 1974, Atlanta Brave Hank Aaron hit his 715th home run off what Dodger pitcher?
I cannot think of his name.
From the Garden State.
Trenton's own Al Downing.
Trenton's own Al Downing is correct. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. One of the nicest men that you'll ever meet. A very good left-handed pitcher in his days with the Dodgers and the Yankees. Fulton County Stadium, where the home run was hit, there's still the wall that is out in the parking lot that the folks here at Turner Field use. As Cameron Rupp fouls it down the right field line, it's 0-2. For years and years and years, Al didn't always like to talk about giving up that home run because he said it wasn't about him, it was about Hank Aaron. Al had a great career. But over the years now, he has embraced the conversation about what was at that point the most home runs in Major League history. No balls, 2 strikes to Cameron Rupp as we start the 5th. There's Hammer and Hank's portrait. Today is the birthday of another great home run hitter, Willie Mays, 84 years old today. Breaking ball, it's 1-2. You know who else's birthday it is today, Matt?
The great Larry Anderson.
Not as good a hitter as Willie Mays, but it is LA's birthday today, and we wish him a very happy birthday. That one's out of play again. Remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Curveball. Shallow left field. Johnson comes in and puts it away for the first out. Tampa Respiratory Asthma Awareness Night will be this Monday when the Phillies take on the Pittsburgh Pirates, and all fans will receive the Phillies cap. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com for all 4 games against the Pirates. 3 games against the Mets this weekend, and then 4 against Pittsburgh. Here's Jerome Williams. This time he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Over to first, Freddie Freeman. And 2 quick outs here in the top of the 5th. Foltynewicz made 4 starts down in the minor leagues this year for Gwinnett, the Braves AAA affiliate. He was 0-3, but had an ERA of 2.08. How about they scored 1 whole run for him in those
starts.
No, 4.
4
he
starts,
got a no
1
decision
run?
in 1. 1 whole run.
You know what's usually tough about this game is it's always about wins and losses.
It is true.
I mean, really.
And in this day and age, you've got to kind of look past that for a lot of pitchers. You look at the ERAs, you look at the WHIP, which is the walks and hits per innings pitched, the number of strikeouts.
Innings pitched?
Overall innings pitched, yep. Aaron Harang's gotten some run support this year. At times, Cole Hamels hasn't. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ben Revere. That one's out toward right center field again. Maben on the run, and this time he gets there but drops the ball. And Revere will pull into second with his 2nd double of the night. And that is 4 doubles overall.
I thought as soon as this ball came off Revere's bat, I thought there was no chance that Maben had a chance of catching this. Slides the distance off, almost like the thumb of his glove.
You know, about 6 steps before he slid, he slowed up for a moment. I don't know if he didn't see it. It's hard to see sometimes out in the outfield. Yes, he just said, I didn't see it right away. But if he didn't slow up, he probably could have run right through it and made the catch. Freddie Galvis is 1 for 2. One ball and no strikes to Galvis, who's 1 for 2. Outside, 2-0. Well, Foltynewicz, as Matt alluded to earlier, has a difficult time holding runners on. A lot of times it's at first base, but Murph, I guess you have to be careful at second base too.
Well, you know, I talked to Ben Revere about that today. Mike Foltynewicz in his first start against the Reds allowed 5 stolen bases. If there's a knock on him, that is the knock. His move to the plate is 1.8 seconds, which is about a half second slower than the average in Major League Baseball. So it's something that the Braves have, you know, made him aware of and want him to do a better job of. I talked to Ben about that today, and I said, you know, are you aware of that? He said, oh, yeah, we are aware of that. He said in spring training, even Cameron Rupp stole a base on Foltynewicz, and that's what he said. So, you know, they are certainly aware that they can maybe move up a base or 2 on this guy, but it has to be the right moment as well in the game.
Murph, are you saying that Cameron Rupp is slow?
I'm just saying what Ben Revere
said.
He is
you
slow.
can say it.
You know what? I will say that. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. I don't think Cam will get all that bent out of shape about that.
And if he does, he won't be able to catch you.
Well, Freddie Gonzalez said we have to clean that up, meaning Foltynewicz's speed to the plate, because we don't want his starts to become a track meet.
So you said it was 1.8?
1.8.
That is very slow.
Yeah.
And I was watching it tonight to see, if he's doing something like, some guys hold that leg kick up there for it. Doesn't look like he's doing anything out of the ordinary, but the times are the times.
That one's pulled toward first and gobbled up by Freddie Freeman. Well, no worries about his time to the plate there. 3 unassisted, no runs, 1 hit, and 2 men left. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning here in Atlanta. It's the Braves 2 and the Phillies 1. By Citizens Bank. The Phillies Junior RBI League has been teaching kids how to play the game since 1989. Donate a baseball glove or 2 to the next generation of baseball greats at the Citizens Bank kiosk at Citizens Bank Park. Good banking is simple, clear, and personal, and that's helping you bank better. Citizens Bank. Bottom of the 5th inning, 2-1, Braves on top. And Jerome Williams will go back to work. Williams' last outing lasted only 5. So he's now working to begin the 5th against the bottom of the order. First pitch is outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Curveball, and that's 2 strikes. That one's back toward the middle. Man, oh man. Jerome Williams is fortunate that he bent back at the last moment. I know he tried to catch it too, but oof, that was awfully close.
This is a changeup blown away, and the ball's driven right back in between the glove and his face.
He almost caught it. It almost caught him too, but he almost caught it.
Ooh. Yeah,
it sounded like it hit his glove. It was just last week that Archie Bradley of the Arizona Diamondbacks got hit with a line drive off the bat of Carlos Gomez. And there was talk again about pitchers wearing a protective cap, kind of like Alex Torres wears, and a couple of Houston Astros pitchers wear. The Astros pitchers wear something a little different. They wear I think it's a silicone shell that goes in the hat.
Right.
That you can't even tell that they're wearing it.
But that hasn't been passed by Major League Baseball.
It has not. Very good play by Howard.
Not that it matters. You're not cheating.
Right. No, they're not. It just hasn't been certified that it's as protective as the padding that Torres wears. Babin takes outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Pretty good pitch total, 64 pitches.
Runner goes, pitches line toward right field, and it'll drop in for a hit. Well, Peterson just kept on going once he read that the ball was going to drop in. And the Braves now have first and third with nobody out, and Foltynewicz is coming up. Last inning, they were able to play for 2. I think here they're going to play the infield in with Foltynewicz up.
Yeah, I mean, you have a bunting situation usually. I mean, Folty's a pretty good hitter. But this is where you got to watch the play. If you bunt it towards Cody Ash at third base, usually the third base runner will follow you down the line. So you got to make sure that you keep him in front of you.
All right, so they're going to set up for 2. They're not going to play the infield. Now they're coming in. Well, now they're going back, except for Ashe at third. He's in on the grass.
And this is a bunt here where it's a read at third base. If he bunts it well down the first baseline, he's going to score.
He bunts at it, and the runner goes. Maben is safe at second. They appeal. No bunt attempt by Foltynewicz. Now, would you have thrown through there, Matt? If you were Rupp humped toward third, I don't think he realized Maben was going.
Yeah, I don't think he would have had a shot anyway at second base. Maben had a very good jump. That's kind of a set plan right there.
Yeah, so they were going to let him go anyway.
Yes.
Fly ball short right. He might be deep enough to score. Peterson reveres under it. His throw is going to third, and they won't get Maben. So a run scores, a sac fly for Foltynewicz, and it's 3-1. Braves on top.
Well, that's how you execute a run. Guy gets on with the bunt, then you do a hit and run. You're first and third. Still second base, sac fly. Small ball.
And now Markakis is up. The infield is in. He's 0 for 2. He's flied to left and he's flied to center. Diekman is starting to warm up. I guess he's warming up for Freeman if it gets to that point. Freeman and Johnson. And a line drive base hit to right center field. Another run will score. Markakis with an RBI single. It's 4-1 Atlanta. He wants Rupp to go out and talk to Jerome Williams. Cameron doesn't see that. Now he does. Freddie Galvis had picked it up, so he goes into the mound to chat.
Yeah, this is a pitch right here. You kind of wish you want to bounce it. No balls, 2 strikes, but he kind of leaves it up top of the knees and drives it to right center. That's part of the game right there. Telling your catcher to go out and talk to the pitcher, which should be taken out of the game. I know you're delaying for the guy in the bullpen to get some extra time. Get him up earlier next time. Bottom line.
Breaking ball outside, 1-0. Simmons is 2 for 2, a home run and a double. That one's over toward the hole. A base hit to left field. Well, that may be it for Jerome Williams. With one out here in the 5th inning, Freddie Freeman is coming up, and lefty Jake Diekman warming up at the bullpen. And here comes Ryan Sandberg. Sandberg signals to the pen, so pitching change here in the 5th inning. The Phillies are down 4-1, 2 runners on, and 2 lefties coming up in Freddie Freeman and Kelly Johnson. Do you remember Game 5 of the 1980 World Series? Watch the Phillies Sports Classic, the 1980 World Series Game 5, Phillies at Kansas City, Thursday night at 7 over on the Comcast Network. It was Sunday, October 19th. Game 5 turned out to be a pivotal game as the Phillies went up 3-2. It was scoreless until the 4th inning when Mike Schmidt hit a 2-run bomb to right center field. Phillies went on to win that championship at home at Veterans Stadium. Doug McGraw getting Willie Wilson, struck out a lot in that World Series. Here's Jake Diekman, who's coming on to face Freddie Freeman, a lefty, and then eventually Kelly Johnson, a lefty. Freeman is 1 for 2. 13 strikeouts and 10 2/3 for Diekman. Two base runners are the responsibility of Jerome Williams. Fastball upstairs, 1-0. See his numbers against lefties. Now that's just for this year, of course. Better get the sign straight. You don't want to get crossed up if you're Cameron Rupp with Jake Diekman on the mound.
No, you do not.
That would be a headache. Home plate umpire Dan Bellino just said thank you to Cameron Rupp for going out. And now he'll go out again.
Is it possible that someone forgot?
Failure to communicate.
Within 58 feet.
Yeah. Maybe. Freddie Freeman is a career .303 hitter with runners in scoring position. That's getting the job done. 2-0 pitch is in there. 96 with a fastball. It's 2-1.
Jake Diekman has not looked one time at second base to keep an eye on Nick Markakis.
Markakis is creeping off a little bit more.
No, he does. He must have heard me.
In the dirt. And now it's full, 3-2. Jake's wildness has been a concern this year, obviously. 10 walks so far. That one's pulled down the right field line. It's a fair ball down to the corner. 1 run is in. And now Bo Porter is going to wave Simmons home, and he's going to score. It's a 2-run double. And the Braves have just broken this ball game open. It's 6-1. Simmons has scored 3 runs tonight. Freddie Freeman has driven in 3 runs tonight. Those runs charged to Jerome Williams. So he is charged with 6 earned runs tonight.
3 balls, 2 strikes, fastball inside. Short swing we talked about all year, and just inside the foul line down right field corner.
See all the fans signaling. They saw it too. They were helping the umpire out. Now Kelly Johnson. Slider in there, 0-1. Over to second base. That'll get the runner over to third. Hernandez makes a nice backhanded play for the second out. And 2 away. Callaspo will bat right-handed now against Diekman. Well, 9 earned runs in 9 1/3 innings for Jerome on this road trip. Through 72 pitches tonight. Outside, 1-0. He done a nice job for the Phillies too coming in. In 14 starts, he was 6-3 with an ERA of 3.24. Way outside, and it's 2-0. Ball 4. First walk of the game, and now the 9th man to bat in the inning. Christian Bethancourt will come up. Bethancourt is 0 for 2. He is struck out, grounded into a double play. Inside, 1-0.
You look at the top of the lineup with Markakis, Simmons, and Freeman. 6 for 9, 4 runs scored, 5 RBIs.
Yeah, that's getting it done. They came into this game, that trio came into this game with 10 hits in 25 at bats. So,
and that trio started the last time in Philadelphia when they put Markakis leading off.
Right. Now 16 for 34 in the series, the top 3 hitters in the lineup. Swing and a miss. He got him. A little high heat, and the inning is over. 9 men come to the plate, though. 4-run score in the inning. Freddie Freeman picks up 2 more RBIs. We'll go to the 6th with the Braves on top 6-1.
Surprised at all, but he is producing at the plate with consistency. Galvis hit the ground running in April and was among the National League batting leaders the entire first month. 3 hit games have come often from his bat, no matter where he bats in the lineup. Oh, and his glove? It's been working pretty well in the field, stealing hits on a daily basis. Freddie's first month has been impressive. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless.
Well, Freddie Galvis today has a single and a walk, so he's continued to get on base. Now we go to the top of the 6th inning. It'll be Ryan Howard, Darren Rupp, Odubel Herrera. Howard is 1 for 2. Last time he was up, a run scored. We had mentioned that he was credited with an RBI, which the official score did say. But when we went into break, the official score said that it was no RBI. And Mike McConey, who is our official score back at home, reminded me that Rule 9.04B, as that one is hit well out towards center field. Maben's going back to the wall, and it is gone. A home run for Ryan Howard, number 50 against the Atlanta Braves for his career, and it's now a 6-2 ball game. Well, that time he's getting an RBI. 50 home runs against the Atlanta Braves for Ryan Howard. And Dale Bond of Hamburg, Pennsylvania, you've just won 500 smackaroos, courtesy of the McDonald's home run jackpot.
Congratulations, and this is a first pitch fastball out over the plate. Full team missed the spot. May have been a nice try, but 5-0 in his career versus Atlanta Braves.
Being congratulated by his teammates, and rightfully so. First pitch, or second pitch to Ruff is upstairs. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Ruff, who is 0 for 2.
Nice to see Ryan have another multi-hit game. I like it when he hits home runs to left center.
There's a broken back ground ball to third. Boy, the bat went farther than the ball. 5-3 on the putout. Simmons trying to juggle both the bat and the ball. on the throw around. Well, 50 home runs is nothing to sneeze about against one team. It shows longevity, but it also shows that he's blasted himself a lot of home runs in his career.
I mean, that's a ton. 50 home runs against one team.
Here's Odubel Herrera, and he fouls it off to the third base side. 1 for 2 tonight.
I'd like to see Herrera get one home run against the Braves.
I'd like to see Herrera start stinging the ball again and get his average up over 300.
Yeah, and I'd like to see him hit a ball to that Bank of America sign on the line and watch him run to right center.
Ground ball off the glove of Foltynewicz. It's picked up by Peterson and not in time. And that will be an infield hit for Odubel Herrera. Some boos from the fans, but it really did look like he had beat it.
Okay, now so Herrera should stand in the batter's box. Oh, I was kind of hoping that Folty went back. He almost knocked it down, but you see right there, that's a safe call.
Freddie Gonzalez is coming out to talk to the home plate umpire. Yeah, they do want to review it. Well, if it stands, it's the 32nd infield hit for the Phillies this year. We'll take a look at it again. Peterson did get to it quickly, but Herrera was moving up the first base line. So the crew chief, Tom Hallion, is to your right. The next eldest umpire, as far as experience goes, is Bruce Dreckman in this crew. He's to the left. Take another look. Ball has not arrived. The foot has not arrived, and the foot is. Boy, that's awfully close. See, that's going to be one of those I don't think they're going to be able to overturn.
Right.
Because how do you know if the heel of his foot was on the bag when the ball arrived? Naked eye, I thought he was going to be safe. Yeah, I think that's going to stand. Because you can't tell whether the heel of his foot is on the bag. I think it's going to be inconclusive, but you know, those can go either way, and they've already decided. And the call is
safe.
Yeah, I think we've seen that time and time again.
I cheated. I read his lips. He said safe.
Oh, you did? So an infield hit. Odubel has 2 tonight, and he's 2 for 3. Braves are now out of challenges. Call stands. It's not confirmed, so there's not enough to overturn what the umpire saw. Here's Cesar Hernandez, and he takes low, 1-0. One minute 12 seconds for the estimated time of review. Avilan is the lefty. Cody Martin is the right-hander warming up. Yeah, they're probably not going to waste too much time. They may go to the bullpen pretty quickly here.
Well, this is his 100th pitch coming up.
Yep. Janmar Gomez throwing for the Phils. So at a Major League scoreboard, the Mets lead the Orioles 3-1. That game's in the top of the 6th inning. Curtis Granderson has hit a home run. Ball 4. Runners on first and second. That is the 5th walk of the series for Cesar Hernandez. And here comes Freddie Gonzalez, and that will be it for his young right-hander. So he'll go to the bullpen after 5 1/3 for Foltynewicz. And Cameron Rupp due up for the Phillies. A pitching change here at Turner Field with the Phillies down 6-2.
you mentioned earlier, the Phillies will head home after this game in Atlanta for a weekend series with the New York Mets, the first place New York Mets. And it bears repeating, look at that Friday night pitching matchup. Matt Harvey will come to town, the right-hander, take on Cole Hamels on Friday night, the 7:05 game. On Saturday at 7:05, Jonathan Neese will take on Aaron Harang. And on Sunday at 1:05, it'll be Dylan G versus Chad Billingsley. Chad Billingsley getting his second start of the season for the Phils. The Mets have been pretty good, as you mentioned, at Citi Field, Tom. Heading out on the road, it'll be interesting to see that kind of matchup against the Phils this weekend.
Well, I think a lot of people are buzzing about Matt Harvey, 5-0 with a 2.41 earned run average coming to Philadelphia. Should be some pretty good energy in the crowd on Friday night. Tickets are available for all 3 games of that weekend series by going to Phillies.com. Well, here's Cody Martin, his 14th ball game. Martin 1-0, an ERA of 2.20. He is a strikeout pitcher. 21 Ks and 16 1/3. And he'll face Cameron Rupp, and then Grady Sizemore's out in the on-deck circle to pinch hit. Breaking ball. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, one thing about Cody Martin, he's not an overpowering fastball.
Sorry, man.
That's all right. He top it at 91 miles an hour, and he's a 4-pitch pitcher.
I said 1-0 because I thought that pitch was high and in.
You were correct. By the way, the weather this weekend in Philadelphia.
It's not going to be Canada weather, man.
It's nice up in Canada now. We don't get snow year round.
It is going to be beautiful this weekend.
Oh.
Fouls it back to the right, and it remains 1-2.
Hang a slider, hit a homer, 6-5. How's that called?
I would take it.
Hang this slider.
Got another fastball, and he fouled it away. This will be the 7th pitch of this at bat to Cameron Rupp. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fouls it again. There's that slider, Matt. He pops it up. It'll be an infield fly rule called as Freeman gives way to Peterson. And there are 2 outs. And Sizemore will be called back, and Jeff Francoeur will come up to pinch hit.
Well, I think that Cameron Rupp would like to have this back, because that is a hanger right there. Inner half of the plate. It was a pretty good swing. He just got out in front of it just a hair, and there's the frustration knowing That he had a pretty good pitch to hit after battling and fouling off some tough pitchers.
Well, Francoeur had a nice night on Monday, 4 for 5, a double, triple, couple RBIs. Talked to Murph after the game, talked about how special it was. His dad was here, his wife was here, the rest of his family from about 40 minutes away, they were here too. He's going to be aggressive. Let's see how Martin starts him off here. Little fake to second, and Herrera goes diving back. I should say goes tumbling back. Fastball. Ooh, he took it. That one's lined back toward the middle, a base hit. Rounding third, heading for almost Herrera. He's going to score. And now Cesar Hernandez is caught off second, but he'll get back. It's an RBI single for Francoeur. It's now a 6-3 ball game. Man has 5 hits in this series.
He does, and all 5 have been line drives. So a lot of patience out of bat, taking the first pitch fastball away, getting a slider, staying down through it. Hitting line drive back up the middle for a huge RBI with 2 outs.
So now a double switch by Freddie Gonzalez as you see Herrera scoring on that base hit. Freddie Gonzalez is going to come out. Johnny Gomes is going to check in. And we'll have a new pitcher with Ben Revere coming up. We're assuming it's Luis Avilan. He was warming up a moment ago. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. The Phillies are within 3. May 14th when the Phillies take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Also after the game, it's a senior stroll the bases. What are your tickets now by going to Phillies.com? So 3 against the Mets, and then 4 against the Pirates, and then the Diamondbacks come to town. That's the homestand. It's a 10-game homestand. And it all starts Friday night at 7:05. Changes for the Braves. Johnson goes from left field to third base. Johnny Gomes comes in to play left field, and he'll bat 9th. And the new pitcher is Luis Avilan. Avilan, 15th ball game, 7 strikeouts so far, and 11 2/3. And Ben Revere is the batter. Runners on first and second. Revere is the tying run. Chop a foul. And it's 0-1. Oh, and 2. I think Ben was looking to tie the game up right there with that swing.
It was an aggressive swing. 94-mile-an-hour two-seamer inside.
Now that one's pulled into right field, a base hit. Rounding third, heading for home is Hernandez. He'll score. Going to third is Francoeur, and Revere will speed into second with his third double of the night. It's a 6-4 ball game. Ben Revere with 5 doubles now on the season. Fultonevich's line is done. Cody Martin, who's sitting next to him, his line is not done as of yet. And the Phillies have the tying run at second base.
That's a nice job. You get a fastball inside. Now he comes back with the 0-2 curveball. Stays on it. I mean, that's one, I don't think it's a very smart pitch. But 2, it's a very good, nice job of hitting that baseball right there and staying to the zone and battling.
Well, now a base hit, and the Phillies could tie this game up at 6. And the first pitch coming to Freddie Galvis. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Galvis is 1 for 2. Francoeur over third, a career high 3 doubles for Ben Revere at second base. Had a play, and it's 0-2. His natural side is the right-handed, is the right side of the plate, and he's hitting .563. No balls, 2 strikes to Galvis. And a little tapper in front of the plate. Bethancourt has it and then throws in time, and the side is retired. 2-3 on the putout. The Phillies do get 3 runs in the inning. They lead 2. It all started with Ryan Howard, a leadoff home run on the first pitch of the inning, number 50 against the Atlanta Braves. The Phils went on to score 2 more. So now as we go to the bottom of the 6th, it's a 6-4 ball game. All we do. Call 1-800-JEFF now or visit jefferson.edu. Buy your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com today. And buy Yellowwood. Yellowwood pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it. Bottom of the sixth inning, as we mentioned, they're honoring the Vietnam veterans tonight here at Turner Field. And that was one of the gentlemen who was honored. He was a corporal when the Vietnam War was going on. And he got a very nice round of applause. This is the largest crowd of the week right now for the Atlanta Braves in this three-game series. He was one of the many who were out on the infield earlier tonight and honored before the ball game. For so long, folks that served in Vietnam weren't appreciated. At least it seemed that way. And it's nice to see that gentleman walking through the crowd and getting handshakes as he walks up to his seat. Here's Jenmar Gomez in his 11th ball game. No wins, no losses, an ERA of 2.70. And he'll take over for Jake Diekman. All right, Matt, we got a ball game again. The Phillies down by 2. Now they need the bullpen to just keep it right where it is.
Keep it there and give yourself an opportunity to try to score a couple runs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
It'll be Peterson, Maben, and then Johnny Gomes. First pitch is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Peterson is 1 for 2. Scored a run after reaching on a single to start the 5th inning. Gomez just froze for a moment after delivering that pitch, looking in at the home plate umpire, Dan Bellino. Bellino's been consistent, though, with that outside corner. That one looked like it tailed off the outside part of the plate a bit. And now the 3-0 pitch coming to Peterson. In there for a strike, and it's 3-1. Jerome Williams started. He went 4 1/3. He allowed 6 earned runs and 8 hits. Jake Diekman 2/3 of an inning. He allowed a couple of inherited runners to score. And now it's Jenmar Gomez and the rest of the bullpen trying to keep the Phillies within reach, down by 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. Outside, ball 4. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Budweiser is still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. Cameron Maben is 1 for 2. He singled and scored his last time. Grounded out to shortstop in the 3rd.
Also last time up, did a hit and run. Allowed Peterson to get to third base. Putting a hit and run on for a hitter who is struggling is one of the smartest things you can do. Because you don't think about nothing. You're thinking about contact. You're not thinking about hitting the ball to left field, right center. You just want to hit the ball hard on the ground, on the line. That's what he did last time.
Maben was talking before the ball game yesterday about Kevin Seitzer and the impact that he's had on Maben's swing. Now, it may not look that way, hitting 241, but Maben feels like he's making strides in the right direction thanks to Seitzer and the way he is, the certain plans that he's implemented. Braves wanted to change a lot offensively. Well, they did. They got rid of a lot of players. It was one thing. But they also changed the focus basically to what every team wants to do, and that's to make contact. Kevin Seitzer was a very good hitter when he played in the major leagues. How he is as a hitting coach? Well, he's been around. There's no doubt about that. No balls, 2 strikes to Maben. And a little low, 1-2. And a foul tip hung on to by Rupp and 1 away. That was a decent sinker right there by Yanmar Gomez.
Yeah, it was. And we talked about this sinker in spring training about not setting up too far inside to right-handers or away from left-handers. Set up down the middle of the plate and let that thing run. We saw 94 miles an hour, the late movement, the late drop. It's a nasty sinker.
Well, now Johnny Gomes up for the first time. Gomes hitting 196 on the year. He has 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Pretty hefty rip right there by Johnny Gomes.
Every time he swings, it's hard.
Off the dugout again. We saw last night the young lady get hit right in the forehead on one of those shots that skipped off the dugout. I think everybody's okay. That young lady has the baseball.
That'll be on Twitter or Facebook or whatever else is out there.
Whatever else is out there.
Tumblr.
Keep them going, Matt. In the dirt. Nice play by Rupp, and it's 1-2. Join the Major League scoreboard. The Mets now lead the Orioles 5-1. Dilson Herrera 3 for 3 for the Mets. There's talk about him possibly taking over at second base in the near future for New York, even though they have Daniel Murphy. And the 1-2 pitch, runner goes, pitches high, throw to second by Rupp is not in time. Cesar Hernandez is holding the baseball for a moment. It looked like Peterson did swipe that bag.
Well, and it did. I think we kind of fell asleep forgetting about him at first base. He had a fast changeup up in the zone, and really Cameron had no chance of throwing him out at second base. I think even a good throw on the money, he's going to be safe.
I wonder if Cesar thought maybe he came off the bag as he slid. There's been a lot of that going on. All right, so the double play is out of order. The conventional double play.
If there's going to be fines passed out for delay a game, it'd be this inning.
No, there's no question. Chopper over to third, a foul ball. It remains 3-2. We tell people about Gomez in spring training. He was not this deliberate out on the mound. I mean, everybody has their own style, and it is what it is. But he is very deliberate out on the mounds.
I remember last year we thought Bastardo was unbelievable.
In the bullpen. I mean, in spring training. Yeah, he was deliberate during the regular season.
He was straight human rain delay.
Which he's still apparently the same way in Pittsburgh. Three balls, 2 strikes. Fly ball left field. It's not deep. Ruff froze for a moment. He comes running in. Galvis out, makes the catch. Great job by Freddie Galvis. As it turned out, he was the only one that could make that play. It hung up there enough for him to get out there. There are 2 outs here in the 6th.
What I like about it is that his initial step, he went after it thinking he had to go get it. He takes a little peek knowing that Darren wasn't going to be able to get there. He kept on going out there, making a nice play. I like the fact that he took a peek and see if Darren was going to be able to get there, or if they're going to have a collision.
Well, Bob McClure now coming out. I guess he's going to ask him if he wants to work around Markakis here and face Simmons. Simmons is a triple away from the cycle tonight, and I'm just assuming that's what he's discussing with him right now. Can't imagine any other reason that he's going out.
It'd be interesting to see. I mean, it's if he struggles versus sinkers, or I don't know. I hate walking a guy. I know it's a righty coming up next, but 3 for 3 with a single, double, and a home run.
He's singing the ball,
and he's hit him off a fastball.
Well, Markakis is 1 for 3, and an RBI single his last at bat in the 5th. He flied out to left his first time ups, and then fly to center his second time to the plate. Off the glove of Rupp, and not far enough. It's 1-0.
Cameron has put down about 30 different styles of finger numbers this tonight, like the 1, 3, 2, 4, whatever he wants. They cannot get on the same path. I don't understand why pitchers don't do the swipe of the chest to get what they want.
Yeah, he's just staring now, and now he steps off.
We'll talk to him.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Phillies down by Bo.
But like if you're having a hard time being on the same page of what you want to throw, and you put down a number, and if it's a 2 for a slider, and you want to throw a sinker, well, swipe twice in your chest. Now all of a sudden the first swipe's the 3. Now it goes back to a 1.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. So you
never do that.
Yeah. So you're doing a count with your swipe your leg or your chest.
1 ball, 1 strike to Markakis, and the pitch on the outside corner, 1-2.
Or just do what Papelbon does.
Tell them what's coming.
Tell them what's coming.
Fly ball, left center field. Ruff on the run, and it's going to go past him and to the wall. A run will score. Markakis to second with an RBI double the opposite way. It's 7-4 Atlanta. So they get one of the runs back here in the 6th inning. And tack on another RBI for the top 3 hitters in the lineup for the Braves.
Seen that swing many times over my career. I've seen that same area where he's hit it the sinker away. Even though he has no home runs this year, Markakis, he still has that power to drive the ball into the gaps.
Well, Simmons, as we said, a triple away from the cycle. A single, a double, a home run tonight. Homered his first time up, doubled his second time up, and then singled last time. Takes a strike. It's 0-1. Got a play, 0-2. In 2008, the last cycle for the Braves. Markatse did it. Less than 7 years ago.
Who was the pitcher?
Ground ball right side to his left. Hernandez. He's up with it. Throws to first in time. Zambrano.
I don't know. Just asking.
Side is retired. 1 run does score and an RBI double by Markakis. We'll go to the 7th. Kobayashi due to lead it off for the Phils. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary. Ryan Howard hit his 50th career home run against the Atlanta Braves. That's part of the 4 runs the Phillies have scored. But the top 3 hitters for the Braves, 7 for 11, 4 doubles, 5 RBIs, 4 runs scored. Both starters out of the game. Fultonevich, though, is still the pitcher of record on the winning side. And Jerome Williams, the pitcher of record on the losing side right now. Kobayashi will lead it off against Avilan, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Ashe is 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Pretty good pitch right there. It's 0-2. Araujo warming in the bullpen for the Phils. And Brandon Cuniff, who was added to the roster yesterday by the Braves. Donnie Veal was designated for assignment. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ashe. Swing and a miss. He is struck out. And there's 1 out here in the 7th inning. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. Every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Here's Ryan Howard. Howard is 2 for 3. Homered his last time up. And he grounds it foul. That one's line past the shift into right field. It's a 3-hit night for Ryan Howard. So he's aboard with a 1-out single. Well, that's good to see.
It is, and it's nice to see because it's a fastball inside from a left-hander. Getting the barrel through the zone with authority. Nice quick. The biggest thing what I've seen right now is he's getting his foot down early. And that's the key for Ryan Howard. When he gets his foot down early and stays back and all that power stays on the backside. I said it from day one, he still has tremendous bat speed.
Well, his average now up to 220 with his 3 hits tonight. Aaron Rupp, the batter, he takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Conversation?
The ongoing conversation. That one's in there, 2-1. You wonder if it's just a continued conversation from before, if there's something new that's come up. Three balls and 1 strike. Maybe Freddie started a story the last time Ryan was on base and he didn't get a chance to finish it. Swing and a miss, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Ruff was hitless in last night's ball game, and he's trying to break that string here tonight. And a line drive caught by Simmons. Man, that ball was smoked. And Howard gets back to first. 2 outs here in the 7th. Gonna break in a new glove with that one. And here's Odubel Herrera.
This is a fastball up in the zone, and you're right, Tom. That got on him quick, and then the big piece coming back with the head first slide.
Ground ball foul at the first base line. It's 1-1 to Odubel. Odubel had an infield hit off the third base bag his first time up, and then had an infield hit off the glove of Fultonevich. That was a big play in that 6th inning because they did review it. And the umpires ruled that he did beat it, and he came around to score one of the 3 runs the Phillies had. Did he hold? Yes, he did, says Alfonso Marquez. A lot of moving parts.
It seems like there's more moving parts the slower the pitch is.
Letter high fastball for strike 2.
Try below the letters. Technically, it's a strike.
Outside 3-2, so that means Howard will be off. Freddie Freeman signaling everybody. Runner goes, and the pitch is swung out and missed. Little hop, skip, and a jump from Odubel Herrera. Side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. It is time to stretch here at Turner Field. Final game of this 3-game series. continue to linger. Here we're going to the bottom of the 7th inning, and Elvis Araujo will be the new pitcher for the Phils. Hey, don't forget this weekend the Phillies will take on the New York Mets. It's a 3-game series. It all begins Friday at 7:05, and it wraps up on Sunday, StubHub Mother's Appreciation Day. The Phillies wristlet free to women 15 and older. Make your plans for great weekend baseball. It can be great weather. And nice to see you at the ballpark. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets. Well, here is Elvis Araujo in his major league debut last night. 2 strikeouts, 2 hits, 1-inning pitch. Matt, Ryan Sandberg talked about downward plane when it came to Araujo. And we saw that in spring training. I mean, he is a big dude.
He is, and his first couple hitters last night, he faced 2 left-handers. I'm going to say he was nervous, but it was kind of holding back a little bit. But when he gets on top of that fastball and has that downhill plane at 95 miles an hour, we saw it against Markakis last night with the 1-ball, 2-strike fastball away that froze him. He can be nasty, and that's what we saw in spring training, and that's the stuff we liked.
All right, so he's on to face Freddie Freeman, Kelly Johnson, and then the pitcher's spot. Johnny Gomes is already into the ballgame, so I guess it would be Pedro Siriaco that they would use as a pinch hitter. Or maybe Phil Gosselin. Here's Freeman. He's had a good night. 3 RBIs, 2 for 3. First pitch is inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. And now 1-2. Again fouled away. Freddie Freeman entered today's ball game 5th in runs and 5th in doubles. And as you see Jim Johnson warming up in the pen. Little loop out toward left. Here comes Rupp. It's going to drop in front of him for a base hit. And he's now 3 for 4. Luis Garcia is now warming up. And now Kelly Johnson now playing third base. He's 0 for 3. A non-roster invitee in spring training. It's basically what he's had to do in his last few years. Inside, 1-0. Phil Gosselin waits on deck. Out towards short. Oh, nice play by Galvis. There's 1 and 2. Pretty nifty. 6-4-3 double play. Galvis to Hernandez to Howard. And there are 2 outs here in the 7th inning. And Phil Gosselin will be the pinch hitter for the Braves.
Well, this is a very nice play. It's a semi-line drive back up the middle to his left. You see the excitement by making the play. A nice flip to Hernandez, and made a very tough 6-4-3 double play look very easily. Very easy.
Those 2 guys have known each other since Little League in Venezuela, so it's like Chase Utley and Jimmy Rollins. They can do it in their sleep. They know where each other is at all times.
But I would like to see Alva start pitching into left-handers, because the 3 hits he's given up this year have been against left-handed hitters.
Out over the plate.
Out over the plate, and that ball was hit pretty hard as well. So put a little scare in the hitters.
Well, he's from the first base side of the rubber, too, so he's right on them. And he's huge.
Yeah.
But he stands about 6 feet 6 inches. No balls and 2 strikes to Gosselin. Swing and a miss. He gets him with a breaking ball. So back-to-back breaking pitches to retire Goslin. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left. We're on to the 8th inning. Phillies down by 3. Go further. Buy McDonald's. Any size hot or iced coffee is just $1. McDonald's. I'm loving it. And buy Toyota. The Toyota Time sales event ends June 1st. Hurry in today. Toyota. Let's go places. 7-4. Phillies down by 3. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Yeah, the Phillies will turn to Cesar Hernandez while the Braves turn to Jim Johnson, who's in his 15th ball game, 1-2 with a 4.05 earned run average. At one point was a very good closer in Major League Baseball for the Baltimore Orioles.
Well, he still has a very good arm. 93, 96 mile an hour fastball, curveball, changeup. Very good curveball when it's on. 12-6.
And Hernandez bunts up the third base line. Really good idea. Try to get on base and get things rolling. Hernandez tonight is 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. Walked his last time up and then came around to score. Chopper softly out towards short. Simmons has to hurry and does. And there's one away. So with one out, Cameron Rupp is due up, and it's time for the Major League Notebook. Murph.
All right, thanks very much, Tom. Well, good news for the Tigers. Justin Verlander began throwing again today. He threw 50 times off of flat ground. He is, of course, trying to come back from that triceps injury that he's been battling since the middle of spring training. After the 50 throws, he said he felt fine. Now, obviously, he is still a ways away from getting back even on a mound, but it is a good step in the right direction for the Detroit Tigers. And how about this? Twins prospect Eddie Rosario made his Major League debut today against the Oakland A's, and in his very first at-bat and very first pitch that he saw, well, he hit himself a home run in front of friends and family. It's a pretty good way to start your Major League Baseball career. At the last check, he is 1 for 2 on the night, but it was a leadoff home run in the third inning in his Major League debut that he will certainly remember for a long, long time.
I can only imagine his adrenaline must have been moving a mile a minute when he went up to the plate.
Major League record.
Yeah, you can't beat that one, right?
I wonder if Daniel Nava was the last one to do that. First pitch, first at bat in the big leagues.
But his was a grand slam.
His was a grand slam. That's a Major League record.
My first pitch in the big leagues, I almost hit the catcher throwing the ball back to the pitcher. That's how late I was.
Here's Andres Blanco with 2 outs, and he takes a strike 0-1.
You caught up with a few of them in your day.
A couple.
Matt Stairs, a .262 lifetime hitter, more than 1,300 hits in his big league career. We were going over the stats before, Murph.
I didn't know if you knew that right off the top of your head or what. That was impressive. I just knew he played in the big leagues.
And he had a lot of uniforms. 1 ball, 1 strike to Andres Blanco. Blanco on the year hitting .200, no homers, 1 RBI. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Did he go? Yes, he did. And that will do it for the Phils abruptly here in the 8th inning. Pretty easy inning for Jim Johnson. We played 7.5. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Phillies down 7-4. Plays of the game.
Well, it's going to be the Freddie show. He starts off in the 6th inning with Johnny Gomez. Johnny Gomez hits a fly ball down left field line, and he makes a nice play, a running catch. And then, what I like about it is his initial jump after the ball. He looked to see if he's going to have a collision. He knew he had time to get there. And very nice play right there. So now, all of a sudden, you get the 7th inning. Kelly Johnson hits a missile up the middle. Makes a very nice play to his left. Gives a great feed to Hernandez. And that's why that is the defensive play of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
Well, now we go to the 8th inning, and Luis Garcia will be the new pitcher. He gets the first batter, Bethancourt, to ground 1 right to the aforementioned Galvis. That is 1 out. Garcia, 14th ball game, 1-1, a 2.31 earned run average. I think with everything that we've seen from Freddie, I think everybody wondered, well, how are the Phillies going to replace Jimmy Rollins? There's no replacing Jimmy Rollins on every level. But Freddie has really done a nice job defensively and obviously offensively. He has held his own. He's not going to hit for power like Jimmy did. He's probably not even going to have the extra base hits that Jimmy had. When I say power, I mean home runs. But he has been a steady guy out there at shortstop for them so far. Liner out towards center. And that'll drop for a hit. Jace Peterson has his 2nd hit of the night. He's been on base 3 times. And that'll bring Cameron Maben up. David is 1 for 3. Singleton scored in the 5th inning. Low, 1 ball, no strikes.
97.
It's getting warmer out. Out towards second. This should be 2. There's 1. And Galvis's throw to first is in time. 4-6-3 double play. Phillies have ended the last 2 innings with double play balls. Last chance for the Phils on this road trip as we go to the 9th. Fields. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire the opposition 1-2-3. Jerome Williams did it twice tonight, even though his outing was short. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Well, the Phillies will go up against Jason Grilli, who is going to try to come on and close this one out for the Braves. We haven't seen Grilli in this series. We saw him back in Philadelphia one time. And he will face Ben Revere, who has 3 doubles tonight. Freddie Galvis, Cody Ashe. The last time, as you see Grilli's numbers, 8 saves and 9 opportunities. The last time a Phillies player had 4 doubles in a game, and again Revere has 3, which is a career high, was Pudd'nhead Jones back in 1949 against the Boston Braves. Ben takes way outside, 1-0. Phillies need a couple base runners to bring the tying run to the plate. 2-0. Revere was content to take a strike. He's just trying to get on base here. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
It'll be interesting to see the approach they take with Jason Grilli. He can be wild at times. At the top of the order, you like to see him throw some pitches. He's basically a 2-pitch pitcher with a fastball and a slider.
That one slapped the other way. A base hit for Ben Revere. So he's aboard for the 4th time tonight. Oh, have a night, Ben. He came in 0 for his last 7. So now 4 for 5. And with that base hit, his average continues to climb. It's up over 260 now. Last year he had 184 hits, so you figured he had to have a 4-hit game, and he did. In August of 2014. Here's Freddie Galvis. Galvis is 1 for 3. Breaking ball. It's 0-1. Freddie's been good with 2 strikes. Let's see if he shortens up his swing here against Jason Grilli, trying to get on base to bring the tying run of the plate here in the 9th inning. Pokes that one out to left, and Johnny Gomes will wait for it. And now 1 out here in the 9th inning. Cody Ashe, who is 0 for 4, come up. Time now for our WB Mason deliveries of the game. Freddie Freeman has had a great series, and he's had a very good night, Matt.
Well, he did. And this is the 4th inning against Jerome Williams. Doesn't matter where you hit it, it's how you hit it. An RBI double for Freddie Freeman. Then the 5th inning against Jake Diekman. Gets a fastball inside and drives it down the right field corner for a 2-run double. That is why those 2 doubles are your WB Mason deliveries of the game.
Well, that's been a big factor tonight. The effort that Freeman, Markakis, and Simmons have put together in the top of the order for the Braves. As she takes strike 1. Cole Hamels will get the ball on Friday. The Phillies trying to start the homestand on a good note, facing the Mets and Matt Harvey.
I don't think Cole brought a razor this road trip.
Chase Utley should be back in the lineup on Friday. As she holds up, and it's 2-2.
Just get it started early, Cody. Everything's a little late. Ball's on top of you. Think you have to rush your swing. It's better early than late. I'm saying everything backwards tonight.
And a called strike 3. Boy, that's a tough pitch. I guess it was on the inside part of the plate. Dan Bellino has gotten a little higher with his strikes the last couple of innings, so now you have to adjust as a hitter. Coming up after the ball game, Ricky Metallico will break down tonight's finale of this 3-game series. Only on Cure Auto Insurance presents Phillies Postgame Live. Ryan Howard has 3 hits tonight, 2 singles and a home run. He is 3 for 4. Runner goes, swing and a miss, 0-1. It'll be defensive indifference, so no stolen base for Revere. Now they're going to move Peterson in. I'm sorry, they're going to move Kelly Johnson back over to third.
Why? So he doesn't steal third base?
I think that's what it is. Now they're going to move Simmons toward the middle and then move him to the right side. Okay. All right, so same alignment. They're just putting the third baseman closer to the third base bag. Even if Revere wanted to steal right now, he's going to beat Kelly Johnson to the bag.
Right. Kelly's not going to leave his position at third base. He's not going to make that hole bigger over the 5-6 hole.
No balls, 1 strike. Inside, 1-1. Well, there's the alignment. Inside, 3-1. Darren Ruff is on deck, hoping to get a chance. That'd be the tying run. Three balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Inside, ball 4. So that means the tying run will indeed come to the plate here in the 9th inning. Darren Ruff will be the batter. So a meeting with Bethancourt and Grilli. Freddie Gonzalez doing a little pacing. I wonder if any point that if Howard gets in the scoring position, if they pinch run for him. I don't know if you want to take his bat out of the lineup at this point.
Yeah, really. I mean, his run doesn't mean nothing.
It's true. His run doesn't mean anything.
He's a 7-6 guy right now. Now, if Darren gets a base hit here, you might want to put a pinch
That's
runner.
what for Darren. The pinch runner in for Darren?
Oh, I thought you said Ryan.
No, I did say Ryan.
Okay.
Out of play, it's 0-1. So if Howard gets to second base, you'd put a pinch runner in for him?
No, if Howard gets to second base, no. If Darren Ruff gets a base hit, I'm putting someone to pinch run for him.
Yeah, that makes sense because he's the tying run.
Correct. Not really sure who you use the run down there.
Well, I was just looking down. I guess Sizemore and maybe Chase.
Yeah.
No balls, 1 strike to Ruff. In the dirt, Bethancourt keeps it in front, 1-1.
I always find it interesting when you look at the defensive alignment, and with Atlanta, they feel like Darren Ruff is not going to hit the ball down the right field inside the bag at first base.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman's way off the line.
Outfielders are deep, as they should be.
Got a hanger and he fouls it back. It's 1-2. Boy, did Grilli get away with a pitch right there.
Yes, he did. This is the ball. As soon as the pitcher throws, he's like, oh no. Right on. Just clip the bottom of it.
One ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners lead off, and the pitch. Looped out toward left field, coming on is Gomes. He's going to let it drop, a base hit. Rounding third and scoring is Revere. It's a 7-5 ball game. RBI single for Darren Ruff. And Odubel Herrera will be the hitter.
It's a good at bat by Darren Ruff.
Sure was.
You get a slider, he misses the slider, fouls it straight back. Come back with a nice 2-seam fastball down the zone. Punch it to left field for a nice RBI knock. Look how high this pitch is, right off the dirt. Finishes high. Good for him, good at bat.
Well, the Phillies are not going down quietly here tonight. That run the Braves scored in the bottom of the 6th inning is a pretty big one right now. And now Herrera, who is 2 for 4.
Maybe they figure if Darren Ruff gets into scoring position, they'll pinch run for him.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Still, I like to have a guy at first base who could score on a double. Not saying that Darren can't.
No, I'm with you on it. Herrera struck out his last time up. He has struck out twice tonight. Takes a breaking ball. It's over the outside corner, 0-1. It's okay. It's not the pitch he wanted anyway. One ball and 1 strike to Odubel. And he fouls it back. It's 1-2. All right, so for a second straight batter, we're down to 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. Phil's trying to come all the way back. They were down 6-1. They scored 3 in the 6th. That made it 6-4. Then the Braves had an insurance run in the bottom of the 6th inning, made it 7-4. Now the Phils have scored here in the 9th. It's 7-5.
12 more hits. 3 of the last 4 games.
Yeah,
double
true.
digits.
25th pitch of the inning coming right here from Grilly. And the 1-2 pitch. Dribbler foul. He stays alive. See if Odubel can square one up. He hasn't really squared one up the last couple of games. Time is called. Grilly took a while. Herrera took a while. And we'll do it again. Tying run is over at first base in the form of Darren Ruff. Freddie Freeman is really hugging the line at first. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball and a call. Strike 3 and the ball game is over. Jason Grilly allows a run here in the top of the 9th inning, but picks up a couple strikeouts, including one against Odubel Herrera, and the Braves have won the series. They've taken 2 of 3 from the Phils. They win tonight, 7-5. Players of the game, Andrelton Simmons and Freddie Freeman. They combined 6 for 8 with 3 runs scored, 4 RBIs, and 3 doubles tonight. for Atlanta. So the Phils will head home after a rough road trip. They lost 2 of 3 to the Atlanta Braves to cap it off, including tonight, a 7-5 final. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.